What does it mean to build a legacy? For Chuck Murphy, it has happened in Colorado Springs one project at a time and one relationship at a time.
I first met Chuck Murphy close to 30 years ago. We were trying to turn the old Cheyenne Hotel at the corner of Pikes Peak and Cascade into what eventually would be the Phantom Canyon Brewing Company. Chuck was the general contractor who helped me estimate all the costs. And we got down to about, it was $40,000 we were still fighting over. And Chuck looked at me and says, you seem like an awful good guy. Why don't we just split it and go have a beer? And we did, and we've been best friends ever since. If it wasn't for Chuck Murphy, we wouldn't have ever gotten Phantom Canyon done. And if Phantom Canyon had failed, I don't think John Hickenlooper would have ever gotten done. So the next time somebody in Colorado Springs is dissatisfied with Governor Hickenlooper's conduct in any way, blame Chuck Murphy.
I would call Chuck almost like a second father to Stephanie. So when I first met him, I'd heard a lot of stories about him, larger than life. And so when you meet him, those are all true, but he's just such a down-to-earth, caring, wonderful kind of father, husband, community, patron.
He knows how to live life. And I would say that if we could all live like Chuck, the world would be a great place.
Murphy was born and raised in Colorado Springs, and his friends and family all point to his passion for local history.
He loves Colorado Springs, always has, being a native, and he's just taken a lot of interest in all parts. He did a lot of work in Manitou, he's done tremendous work in Colorado Springs.
The Cliff House was, as a kid growing up in Manitou, it was just in such dire need of investment. And Chuck took that on as a labor of love and turned it into something that is just another piece of our tourism industry's infrastructure, and a wonderful restoration from a historic perspective, but also made it viable for the future.
One of my great memories was he arrived at my house for a dinner party, and he had under his arm rolled up this sort of long, skinny roll. And he handed it to me, and he said, "You'll want to open it." And I said, "Okay." And so I undid it's a scroll kind of thing, and I undid it and pulled it out. And it was an original City Council resolution accepting the Garden of the Gods Park. When you walk in the Garden of the Gods Visitor and Nature Center on the first floor, the first thing you will see is the acceptance from the city of the Garden of the Gods Park. And this is framed beautifully there. And that's about as much of Colorado Springs history as you could hope to have arrive at dinner.
Documenting our local beauty is another way Murphy has built his legacy.
His mother bought him a camera when he was a kid. I think he said he was 14. His mother was German and took him to Germany and bought him his first camera. And he said, "I've loved it ever since."
I think Chuck really showed me there's these fundamental pillars that arts and culture is one of, and the quality of that does define the quality of our community.
Photographer, historian, businessman, philanthropist, mentor, family man, friend.
83, and he's still working 6 days a week.
The things he's done for the community, oh my gosh, that will be legendary. That's legacy, no doubt, and I love him for that. But what I love most about him is his exuberance for life.
Chuck is about relationships and people, and he loves them deeply, and he's shown me that.
Now one more title to add, Lifetime Achievement Award recipient.
And if you look at all the great things that have happened in Colorado Springs over the last 25 or 30 years, his fingerprints are all over them.
He shares the journey of every single one of our lives in a way that no one else in this community does.
Congratulations to Chuck Murphy for building a legacy of devotion to a grateful city.